Hey there, Jessica Peterson here from Peterson SEO. Thank you so much for speaking with me today and accepting this free video. I am super excited that you did because today I'm going to walk you through 3 strategies you can start applying right away, and it's going to make a huge difference in your business. And I know that it will because we've applied these same strategies with over 50 other restoration companies just like you guys, and it's made a huge difference in their business. Okay. Right now you guys are getting about 160 people organically to your website per month, which isn't bad. Okay. That's pretty decent. Okay. But it also means that you're missing out on a good 60 to 80% of the people that are actively searching for your services throughout each of your service areas, by just not having these strategies in place. Okay. So the first strategy we're going to talk about is your content and keyword strategy. As you can see here, we are on your website. You do have a good looking website. Okay. I do like these big call out, the 24/7 emergency response. This phone number really needs to be click to call. Everything has gone kind of mobile first, and so Google needs everything to be mobile ready. Okay, so everything's got to be click to call. I do like that you have a separate page for all of your major services. Google does require this. They want you to have a separate page for each service because that allows you to focus one page on a designated service, answer all the common questions people are asking about that service, and really give good, helpful information that showcases your expertise, and focus on those local keywords. And then since you have a large service area, you also do want to have these separate service area pages. Okay, this is important. However, you guys have a massive service area here, and all of these pages are duplicated pages. They're all duplicate content, and Google does not like that and does not index. Okay, every page on your website has to be original content. It needs to have their own local keywords. So like if you look here, this is for Cedar Park. Okay, the image is swapped out for the city, which is great. We're swapping out the name of the city, but the actual content on the page is, 1, is very minimal, and 2 is duplicate of every single service area page. Okay, this has to be original if you want to be indexed and you want to be found in each of these areas. Now, content is key when it comes to ranking. 90% of people, when they are searching and have these emergencies, don't know who you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been there, been there 50 years or whatever. When people are in an emergency and they're panicking, they don't know who to call. So they're not going to be searching for your brand. They are going to be searching for terms and services that they need. So it's going to be Austin water damage restoration, Austin. Dallas water removal. Okay, we have to focus on the local keywords. People are actively searching for those services. So your content here needs to be built around those keywords. And Google has done a ton of changes in their algorithm, what they want to see on websites over the last 18 months. And it's really, really focused on definitely being mobile friendly, but also the content needs to be built around helpful user information, not just generic information to feed an algorithm to try and rank. Okay, it really has to be legitimately helpful information. How does this water intrusion occur? What do they do next? What are your steps? What type of tools do you use? Showcasing you as an expertise for those services is absolutely critical. And then making sure just all that content is optimized with your local keywords that people are searching. Your homepage does need at least 1,500 words or more of written content. If your competition has 1,500 words, you need more than they have, okay? So we always got to do better than they're doing. So that's more pages, better quality service area pages, more long form blogs, more written content per page, making sure every image is optimized with those local keywords. So this says residential and commercial restoration, which is okay, but there's no locality to it. This should be Austin or Texas or Dallas. Fire damage restoration, okay? We have to focus on those local keywords with everything we're doing on the website. The home page and your service pages should be local keywords for your main service area where everything is about. And then those location pages then are focused on all your services for that location and the keywords for that location, okay? Because Google is sending crawlers to your website, which are like little mini robots, and they crawl this website. They search the images, videos, and written text to understand what your business is about. What type of services do you offer, and where do you offer those services? So without the right type of content, without any keyword structure, there's nothing for Google to grasp to understand who you are, what you do, and all the areas that you serve. So if Google doesn't understand, there's no way for them to send you the customers to the website, okay? Now we know when your customer does a search, they'll do a search similar to this on Google. And when they do, your website has the opportunity to show up in 3 main areas. The first is generally going to be ads. Those are going to be cost per click ads as well as these local service ads. And this can be really profitable if that's what you want to do, as long as you have your processes dialed in and you're using the proper type of landing pages, not just sending people to your main website, because you're going to lose them and you're going to get a poor ROI. Okay. The second section here, this is your Google Map Pack, Google My Business Profile section. This is a really important section because 30% of people come straight to the maps and don't go anywhere else. So when you're not listed in one of these top 3, you're losing 30% of the searches every single month. So if you find that your profile is not showing up for these related searches in your service area, you need to further optimize that profile and go and get a bunch of citations. And citations are simply listing the name of your business, your address, phone number, and website, and putting those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, Glassdoor, Angie's, Home Advisor, Houzz, Better Business Bureau. All of those are really great citations to have. So you will need more of those than your competition, and they will help give you a good boost in the maps, okay? And then this third section here is the most critical section. This is the organic section. Section is the most critical because 60 to 70% of people who search skip over ads and skip over the maps, and they come right here to the organic section. So your website showing up here is absolutely critical. When your website doesn't show up, you're losing another 60 to 70% of the searches available every month for each of these keywords. So in order for your website to show up here, like this water damage restoration of Austin, it all comes back to the foundation of this website. Do you have it properly built and optimized? Okay. Do you have that keyword strategy? So let's take a look at the Austin website. Okay. Not a great website, honestly. I'm not even sure this is a legitimate business or a lead gen. But they do have a form right at the top. I highly recommend. It will help with conversions. We see about a 70% increase in conversions by having a form right up here in the hero section. Okay. They do have separate pages for their major services. What you can't see in their navigation is that they have a ton of other pages, a ton of other service area pages and random pages that is allowing them to rank for a ton of keywords, okay? We can see that they're going after the local keywords, okay? Water damage restoration Austin. They have some content here, interlinking. You guys probably have about an equal amount of content on this homepage here. So we do have to do better. They're doing a lot of keyword stuffing here and just trying to stuff everything in here. This is a black hat tactic. Google does not like that. So I do not recommend doing what they're doing. But we do need to do better than they're doing. So better quality content, more pages, more long form blogs are going to help give you guys a good boost. Okay. And then when you support that with a backlink SEO strategy, then you can really start to make some progress here. Sorry about that. So if we look here, we can see your website has a rating of a 31 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, which is pretty good. Most of the websites we audit have really poor scores. So this score is partly based on your website, but more so the power you're sending to your website. So you are doing some SEO here. You got 241 backlinks currently, which is great. We power websites with backlinks. The better quality those backlinks are, the higher this score gets. So that tells me you have some really good, solid backlinks in here. Okay, so we always need to do better than our competition. We need better quality backlinks and more of them. And the more that you get, the higher the score is, and the more Google trusts your website and wants to promote your website and help you to rank. Okay. You have been indexed for over 177 keywords, and you're getting about 161 people to your website organically per month, okay? But when we look at those keywords, the ones that you're on the first page for, the ones that are driving traffic, are really informational. These are coming from blog articles that people are reading, blogs from water damage, mold on popcorn ceiling. These are informational. These are not buyer intent, emergency related keywords. Marketing for water damage versus mold and fire, there's very different strategies you need for each. Okay. So we don't want to be just going after generic informational keywords. We want keywords that are going to not only drive traffic to your website, but are going to convert into customers. Okay. So you did have this one, Fire Damage Restoration Austin, but that has been lost. So you got Water Restoration in Bryan. That's great. There's only 20 searches though, but you do get 7 people from that. The higher you are ranking on Google, there's 10 spots per page, the more the traffic that you can get. So when you're in the first and second position, you can be getting over 30% of the traffic. So let's see. Most of these are pretty generic keywords. Water Damage Restoration Austin. Okay, you're on the second page of that. There's 400 searches. So 30% of that would be 120 just for that one keyword. Okay, so by just focusing on your keyword and content strategy and then supporting that with your backlink strategy, you guys have a huge chance to be able to outrank these guys and those local franchises that you guys are always worried about. Okay. So these guys are absolutely beatable. I hope you found this information to be helpful. Please feel free to take this information, run with it, apply it yourself, and help more people in your community. But if you feel like you'd rather focus on what you do best and have a partner in growth, at Peterson SEO, this is our specialty, and we specialize in working with restoration companies just like you guys. So please feel free to respond to my email, give us a call, and we'd be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.